This video contains super awesome content not suitable for people who don't enjoy super awesomeness.
Toby Maguire got bit by a spider, but see, me, it was a goat. If you want space, I hope you take your helmet off soon as you get up to Venus and choke. I'm on a mission, won't hang by a rope, so seeing the vision won't follow the trope. Common in mind, I could raise my power level. People sleeping on me, now they woke.
You have a 340-pound woman she accused of killing her son. So with that being said, let's check out why she did
Yes.
This didn't have to happen. Right? This did not have to happen. He didn't have to die. He just wasn't being monitored by someone that actually cared about him.
An Indiana foster mother gets locked up as she now faces charges in connection to the death of her foster child. 48-year-old Jennifer Lee Wilson is charged with reckless homicide for the death of her foster son, Dakota Stevens. The case unfolded in April of this year when young Dakota was rushed to the hospital. Wilson reportedly told investigators the 10-year-old ran away earlier that day, and she brought the boy home after finding him at a neighbor's home. After they returned to Wilson's home, Dakota reportedly was acting up and threw himself on the ground. According to the Indy Star, Dakota was placed in Wilson's care just a month prior.
You know, I want to be on that same benefit of the doubt, you know, the fact that the two didn't really know each other. But my problem is that she's supposed to be a foster parent. She's supposed to have been vetted to conduct herself appropriately and to understand the traumas that children like this, not just the person in her home at that time, but all of the children that are in the foster system are dealing with a lot more than a typical child would be. So the expectation should have been that she would have known how to manage this child, no matter what the child was doing, no matter what the behaviors were. She should have been vetted already to know what to do in cases like this.
While the young boy was on the ground, Wilson told police she lied on the boy's body to keep him under control while she called his caseworker. That act would have devastating consequences. While Wilson sat on his less than 95-pound body, Dakota screamed and then stopped moving. Wilson reportedly told police she thought Dakota was faking, but when she rolled him over, his eyelids were pale.
It's almost unbelievable. I mean, once you start looking at, how all of this unfolded and the decisions that were made by the adults, not the alleged killer in this case, but all of the adults that are surrounding this child who are supposed to protect him. I mean, it's just a tragedy all around.
Wilson would tell authorities she sat on top of Dakota for about 5 minutes. Dr. John Delatorre, a forensic psychologist, explains Wilson's quest for authority would have tragic consequences.
I don't know that she thought it was a good idea. I think what she was thinking was probably something along the lines of, I need to throw my weight around. I need to get authority back. Right, that the literal throw my weight around. The reality is that it didn't matter how much she weighed. The fact that she put herself on top of this child.
Wix gives you the power of AI to build the website.
Bro, you 340 pounds. The little boy is only 95 pounds. Can you compare this? Can somebody compare this in the comment section? 340 minus 95.
Yes, please. Somebody do the math. Somebody please do the math.
200 some pound, over him. It's a child, a kid.
Because this is very disturbing. And who the fuck would put someone like her in charge of a child? She has no fucking control, no self-control. What?
Not at all.
Poor little baby. Rest his little soul. I'm just fucking appalled. What they gonna do with her ass?
Insane. Let's check it out.
Behaviors that a child in the foster care system would have been experiencing. But the problem is that all these children in foster care systems are experiencing extreme behaviors because of all the things that they've already been subjected to, even to that point.
Dakota was airlifted from a hospital in Porter County, Indiana, to South Bend, Indiana, where he was ultimately taken off life support. The doctor's findings would piece together more clues into the young boy's final moments. They found swelling on his brain, which was consistent with oxygen deprivation for an extended period of time. And young Dakota was pronounced dead. The St. Joseph County Coroner's Office would rule the 10-year-old's death as a homicide, and his cause of death would be mechanical asphyxia, an asphyxiation where a physical force or object stops a person from breathing.
I can't
Wow,
even put
she
words into it. I don't know what this child would have been experiencing. I know it would have been
so
terrible.
shut the
I
fuck
mean,
up then.
terrible isn't even the right word to describe what this child would have been going through. Never in his life did he ever think that he was safe, and everything was taken out of him. Literally, his breath was taken from him, and just how awful that is when you experience it as an adult, when you lose your wind, right,
She
when you get
could
the wind
have
knocked out of you,
gotten up
just
off of him.
just
He
the
sounds stupid. I don't
prolonged.
even want to hear him talk no more.
Yeah, go ahead, chicken.
He like she could have gotten up off of him at any moment. This guy is just making it sound so much like it was okay for what she did. Like
No, you
making
know,
like
it's certain people, doing commentary, they feel like they can
all
say
these
anything.
all these little puns. Like that's crazy. Like my thing is she could have gotten off of him at any moment. That's all I really gotta say for real.
Exactly,
And
you nailed it.
play the video, man.
Can't stand. Mm-mm.
Torture that it would have been for him to go through, not only through his life, but during those last moments.
But nearby home surveillance video would reveal more into Dakota's tragic death.
Really quick, I want to thank Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring today's Law and Crime YouTube takeover. If you've ever seen our videos, you know our content proves the world isn't always safe. So if you're ever hurt, it can be confusing and scary, especially if you don't know where to turn. Well, Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, can help. You can also start a
Camera video showed Wilson lying across Dakota's neck and head
Oh my
area as
gosh.
he
Damn.
screamed. Then another video reportedly
She's
showed
psycho.
Dakota still screaming while Wilson, who weighed nearly 350 pounds, was on top of him with her right arm and elbow planted on the ground. A third video then shows Wilson still on top of Dakota near his bottom, while the 10-year-old whose arms were above his head showed he was no longer moving.
Wow.
A fourth video reportedly showed Dakota and Wilson still in the same position while Dakota was still not moving. Then a fifth video showed Wilson on her knee facing Dakota while he was
Oh my
face
God.
down on the ground. Upon realizing the young child wasn't moving, Wilson reportedly shouted his name several times and asked her other children to call 911.
Well, I think part of it was probably she had tunnel vision.
Oh man, chicken, what's your
She
thought on
did.
that again before
Okay.
we move at the
I think that
subject?
I think that we have to be a little more careful on who we put out in protection of our children, and we need to just be a little bit more what's that word called, um proactive about things, because someone could have saw this, if someone could have called someone and done something about it if he had already been in trouble, because they're saying that he had already been experiencing problems at that with that lady or whatever in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think it could have been, like he could have had someone in his corner, maybe the social worker or whoever put him at that home, like maybe could have helped out, because you don't have to. There's a lot of resources you can take, and the fact that she actually wanted to be a foster
Put her
parent, I
weights
guess.
on it. Yeah,
Yeah, she wanted to be this foster parent, but you don't have control over yourself. You don't have
exactly.
control to lay down the rules or to get someone to obey you. Then you shouldn't be a parent, let alone a foster parent. Like, I don't get it. But my thoughts are, I hope she rots in fucking jail.
Hey, chicken, you nailed it. I don't even have to say anything because mine was gonna be a little bit harsh, but you
Yeah.
nailed it. You make it smooth for
Man,
everybody, chicken.
I wish they take away every fucking meal from her when she gets to prison that she don't eat. They need to they need to put a hold on all the meals that, like, nah, she can't eat for a whole 2 years
For
that
a
she's in
whole
hospital.
two how many years? No, she's gonna do 6 years in jail. A
Okay,
whole
all
six
6 years
years,
then.
just one meal.
Just one meal a day. Seriously. Fuck that. She don't need to eat at all. She lost
Oh
her
man,
privileges. 6 years for that?
that isn't. Yeah, that's 6 years. She only got 6 years.
Bro, that's sad.
That is insane.
That's literally she did it on purpose. That's premeditated. Like you had every fucking option to get off, but
Option. Yes.
yeah, that's fucked up, man. But you see this a lot of times with people that take in foster kids. You see something happens in the place, and then they don't know what resources to take to get the help they need, and then boom,
Mhm.
someone dies, someone gets killed, and then we hear talking about it on Cammy Low Key TV.
Yes, sir. We lit every Tuesday, Wednesday, 8 p.m.
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. But anyways,